Okay, here we have DreamPoint, and DreamPoint is a 16 one-hand, 8-year-old thoroughbred gelding by Point of Entry, and Point of Entry is a Dynaformer. So I don't think I've had a Point of Entry, but certainly have had plenty by Dynaformer and out of that line, and I do tend to like them. So this guy last ran December 13th of 2024. So he's been off the track for a little over a year now. And he came off the track and went directly to a sort of boarding training barn in New York. And one of the trainers there, I'm not sure if he was the owner of the barn, but one of the trainers there bought him to develop him. And, I think this happens really often actually with professionals and with uh, amateurs. It's just that you think you're going to have all this time to do stuff, and you have to put your clients' horses in front of your own. It kind of reminds me actually of like how farriers always say that their horses get the least amount of farrier attention because theirs come last at the end of the day and they're tired and they don't feel like doing it. I think sort of the same situation happened here. So he has been ridden over the course of the past year and 3 months or so, but not in any sort of regular program. So he's lightly restarted, and basically his former owner reached out to me and just said, "Hey, look, I haven't had any time for this horse, so I think he'd do well in your program." And so here he is. And when I watched his videos with his former owner, I just really thought he looked like a good guy. I thought he looked chill and quiet, and just like he would be a really amateur friendly type of horse. And today's my second ride on him, and I 100% believe that. This is a super quiet, easygoing kind of horse. I sat on him yesterday for the first time, and it was kind of raining yesterday, and I was juggling my dentist being here, so it wasn't a good day for video. But I just wanted to sort of get a feel for him and see what he was going to be all about. And so, first ride here, first ride, I'm assuming in a bit of time. And of course, I didn't lunge him or anything before I got on because he seemed totally chill when we came out to the ring. And he was. I mean, he was perfect at the mounting block, very laid back, happy to just walk around for as long as you could possibly want to. And then, if anything, just so quiet. Like, I feel like I'm really kicking and we're not going very fast. So when you see me pick up the canter, I'm sitting the first couple of strides, and then I get into half seat just sort of to send him on to try and get him thinking a little bit more forward thinking. And then once I felt like I had him a bit more in front of my leg, then I come back and put my butt in the saddle and work a little bit more that way in the canter. But yeah, he's just very, very quiet. And if you want him to be lazy, he is so happy to oblige in that laziness. And actually, we had to have what you're seeing here is a little bit of discussions about him wanting to break out of the canter, which goes hand in hand with your quieter horses, but not in any sort of a snarky or naughty way. No negative behaviors whatsoever. Just, hey, if I don't feel like you're squeezing hard enough, I'm going to take any opportunity to slow on down. So I think I got the message across a little bit that actually you have to keep cantering until I ask you not to. But this is all very, none of this is problematic. This is just where he is right now on the training scale. And I actually find these kinds of problems to be good ones because it just means that their headspace is very chill and they really are so amateur friendly. So, besides the fact that I just like how quiet he is and how easygoing, the horse actually is really soft in his mouth and he makes a super cute shape. He's not the fanciest mover in the world, but I think that's fine because a chill horse like this, he's going to be happy to do anything and everything. Obviously, he's not going to be an upper level horse, but there's no reason why he wouldn't be, a mid level horse. I could see him going training and modified, or certainly something on a similar scale in the hunter jumpers, or I could absolutely see him fox hunting. I mean, this horse could really do anything and would be happy to come up the levels a bit. And so you don't really need to be a fancy mover to do that. You really need to be steady and have a good brain. And he certainly has those things, and he very naturally wants to make the correct shape. And actually, so that was our walk break. So we were like halfway through the ride. So we took a walk break, picked up the trot again. And actually, I thought that the second half of the ride was so improved because at this point he had sort of loosened up. He was in front of my leg, and he really gave me some beautiful work here in the trot. Actually, this frame here, I absolutely love this. I really could feel him sort of starting to push from behind a little bit and use his top line, and I was very impressed with this. It was an excellent feel. So there what you saw was I actually was not asking him to canter. I was asking him to give me a little bit of bend around that inside leg, and I'm not sure if it was maybe just a little miscommunication or maybe it's just easier to pop into a canter than it is to find the bend. Doesn't really matter either way. I'm not going to make a big fuss about something like that. And he only did it once or twice in the course of the ride. So he is in the Hermspringer Duo here, which is a soft rubber straight bar. I definitely think that a soft rubber bit is the way to go for him right now because he's so light. I think this is so cute here in the trot work. So he was feeling so good to the right when we came off of our walk break that then I thought I should circle back to the left and see if I could get the same sort of quality to the left that I was getting here to the right. And I also should say that during this ride, my dogs are out, and it just seemed like we were like Grand Central Station today, just a constant stream of traffic coming down the driveway, which every time a vehicle comes down the driveway, my hounds go crazy barking and howling and running around. So he did an amazing job of just completely ignoring all of that ruckus going on around him. Here, I really liked this. This was a great feel to the left. Yeah, and this felt wonderful here. That's why he's getting some pats on the neck. And actually, I should also say that so he's been barefoot since he came off the track and sound barefoot. You know, of course, some light riding, all of that was fine. So he arrived sound barefoot, but to me, he just looked like it was kind of on the fence with whether or not he should have front shoes on. And when I talked to my farrier about it, he basically just said, look, the horse is sound right now, but you're going to be bringing him back into work. And, why risk it if it's sort of unclear whether or not we think he'll continue to be comfortable. So we went ahead and stuck the front shoes on. But hilariously, DreamPoint had his own plans. And I think within 2 hours of putting the shoe on, well, it's not really completely his fault. He's turned out in a field right now with 7 that's extremely mucky. So the mud just sucked one of the shoes right off. But I rode him anyway because I thought, look, you've been barefoot for a year. So just because you had a shoe on your foot for 4 hours doesn't mean that now you can't still be comfortable barefoot. So actually, he's totally fine. And the farrier will be here on Wednesday, I think, to put that shoe back on. And actually, luckily, we're finally getting some sunny weather. So all this muck should be drying up. Here, I thought this was really good. It's just continuing to improve as we go. He's finding more stretch. He's stepping underneath himself more. He's looser behind. He's more correct in the contact. And ultimately, all of that's just because he's more in front of my leg and he's straighter between the aids. So sort of same thing here to the right. I start sitting, but it just feels like he's not 100% up in front of my leg. So I'm going to get into half seat and ask him to do a little hand gallop around the ring, which is comical because what he thinks is a hand gallop is just a working canter. But there's nothing wrong with that because it's a very, very safe feeling. And actually, here he's giving me some really nice connection in the canter. He's super balanced, really lovely bend to the right. I was a very happy camper with him through this ride. And actually, he is a smart kid because where he broke a couple of times out of the canter on me to the left, and I immediately popped him back into and said, oh no, that's not how we do this. Then he never did that to the right. So already just a big improvement from beginning to end of this ride for him. This felt really nice here. Sitting back down in the saddle, using my seat, really nice canter work. And much more in front of my leg after I sort of got off his back and just sent him forward a little bit. It's really nice in the connection. He's really trying so hard. I mean, what a good dude. These guys, they always just blow me away with how willing they can be and just how wonderful they can be with so little riding over the course of the past, almost year and a half. And then you just plop them out of their home, put them in a new place, and get on. And he's just happy to bop around and do all the things and do it with a smile on his face. So I'm a big fan of this horse. I think he's super cute and just this absolute solid citizen. He'll be so fun and easy for somebody to develop and do anything and everything that they want to do. I was by myself in the barn today, so that's why this is cell phone footage, so apologies for that. He stands great on cross ties. He was good for the farrier. He's currently turned out with 7 in a big field, and they get on so well together. It's actually adorable. They're always scratching each other and playing halter tag. So really good guy on the ground.